Well, greetings again with this. This is American Orthodontic Society coming to you, and I'm Dr. Bill Wyatt, and I want to show some, badly impacted teeth. And we had one tooth here that just erupted down into the top end of the palate, about a ½ inch through it. And we pulled that tooth through the palatal tissue up to its position. It was a cuspid, and it left a track in the palate. But just showing you how you can do different things to the palate a lot of times, as long as you stay away from the edge that the palate joins the tooth. This will repair, and over a period of time you can hardly tell where it was coming from. But don't ever cut down on them from the labial side, because you can't get it to come back and go across there like it should. So let's see how we did this, and you can make your own opinion, have your own opinion of how it works and everything. All right, let me get this going. Here's a young man, a very nice guy. No problem at all. The facial height is good. All these other things. We've already started the orthodontic work here, but you've got several regular problems. I mean, this is a closed bite across here. We've got the tooth, impacted tooth missing over here, and another deal missing the baby tooth in there. And here's a young man who has these problems with it. And if you weren't there to pull these down into place and put them in place, he would have a lifelong problem with this. And these deciduous teeth, and you can see this from the x-ray when we get here. And the overjet and the overbite, and then with the teeth meet in here, this is not too bad. This is the lower molar, and the upper molar comes in here. That's fitting good together. All right, here is the palate. Now what I wanted to really stress is the shape of this arch. Look at it. Goes up like this, cuts across here, and then makes almost a 90-degree cut down here, and then comes back in. Now, we've got an impaction over here, I believe, on this side, but this tooth right here is going to have to be moved into this position, and we can't shove it back up in there. We just pull it as it is here. You could open a gap here for it to go through. That's not necessary. If you just gradually move the tooth, you can move it over into position. And at the same time, we're going to work out a palatal shape so that it'll give you a good smile and everything, work in that fashion, like that. Now let's go, and you see his wisdom teeth are coming in back here. At this point, I don't know, this was 1970, 84, I think, right there. Now on the bottom, the arch shape is not too bad. We still have a lot of baby teeth and stuff in the mouth. So it's catching him, and a little older person losing the teeth, not coming out as fast as some of them do. All right, here is the model now after we move that tooth over. So you see a kind of a groove where that tooth came through that space. But now we've got the shape of this model, and I think we'll bring it out over a little bit more over here. Coming around, has a good shape, so when he smiles, you get a good shape for the teeth being in there. All right, excuse me. When we saw this young man in 1983, this cuspid right here is running into, and this is the central, lateral. This is the permanent lateral. This tooth is going right over there. We didn't want to take any permanent teeth out, but I want to get this tooth to turn and come down here. Now, how can I do this? And we talk about this in follicular movement of teeth. Now, if we can go in something like this and remove this deciduous tooth and leave a gap in here, this circle of steel will push that tooth in this direction. If this tooth right here, bicuspids, if we can keep them back in this direction, move them back here, like we take this baby tooth here and with the root of it push it on this cuspid, this first bicuspid, move it over here, we open up a space. Same way over here on this area. You can take this tooth out. You can take this, then it'll try to form a circle, and this tooth will come right on down through there, that space. Over here, the follicle moved the tooth. The follicle will try here, but it keeps the space open, and you bring this on down. You may have to take this tooth and move the root over this way to get that tooth in place, and then you can come back and move it. In other words, you can come down here by regulating the bracket. You can direct that where that root is. Now down here we had baby teeth here, and some badly involved teeth like that. Now let's watch this as we go through some of these x-rays. I don't think we got too many of them here. I'm going to erase that. Now you can watch what happens here. We're going to move to another panorex. Now you see we've still got a space in here. This tooth has moved a little bit. So now we're going to have to catch this bicuspid and shove it back and mush this back as far as we can. And this follicle will shove away from this lateral and move that tooth over. Over here, this is the follicle that's rounded this out, got space here, and it's coming on in with no problem at all. Down here, when this tooth comes in, it may cut this root off. Leave the root alone. It will be absorbed over a period of time, and this tooth will come in and drop back in there. You'll have some space. This one too, you can leave it in. This tooth gets up in here, we can move it back, you can see it. These are coming in, and we're going to prepare to do that down the line, you see. All right, this panorex is pretty bad, but you can see the teeth in line like we would really want them to be. Now here's a little better panorex. You've got a tooth right here. I'd like to put some torque in it. In other words, you could drop this bar down and come like that, hook it in here, make this root come back over in that direction. Now this is 1987. All the teeth are in there, and we had a tooth come in and stayed out of place. And here it is, and he's age 17.6. So you started this guy back early, and now you can watch it right on through the case. He didn't have room for the wisdom teeth, so there else didn't have them. Now here's that. There was a central, lateral. This was the cuspid. It was way up there. Central, lateral, and this cuspid here was growing into that lateral like that. And it's moved out and down here, and we did it by this follicular movement. We could move this root over, and that would open up a gap, and this crown would follow it. When it gets back, you can slip it back in there. And that is a way you can, we've tried to work out ways that you could do anything under the sun that I can think about happened. And we have over 850 videos now on here explaining everything I could think about doing. We saved, I I had a lot of people refer to me. I said, you keep the simple ones. You send me the cases that have problems, and let me do that out. And that's kind of what we did at the end of the practice. Now here's a real good deal. This is 1993. He's 21 years old. And look where those teeth are. He did have one wisdom tooth here, and didn't have one there, or here to here. Those were missing. If they were there in that room, we could use them too. But this is, he's 21 years old, and that's the way the teeth are fitting together. He has a beautiful set of teeth now. So I will run through these real fast. This is the way we did them, going through. And there's the path where the tooth followed this path right through there. He's a little bit tongue-tied, and we may have gone in and released that tongue pressure there. Okay, thank you for watching, and this is another case where we just showed the possibility of doing some things here, and you do it along the time as the person's growing up, and you stay with it and watch it, put retention on it, and take it off. And this guy's got a beautiful smile. You can see that if you look here, you can see teeth as far as you got. His mouth is open in that area. That's looks a lot better like that. Thanks for watching now, and I'm going to close out and say, come back and visit us again.